Okay, here's the CN Tower. It's 1 kilometer high. Okay, that's downtown Toronto Center. And this thing is 1 kilometer high. Okay, it's an obelisk, a modern day obelisk. And it's set up for, you know who, so they can use it as a ramp and wind their way around it at super fast speed and take off. So I'm going to show you. How they do it as soon as the sun comes up. Okay, see them all on the tower there? Okay, you can see their movement all over the thing. I put a lot of light on because the sun hasn't come up yet. Once the sun comes up, I won't need it. I'll darken it a little bit. That's too much. Okay, all the atmosphere and everything is just full of them. Okay, this is where the restaurant is. Okay, here's how many orbs there are in the atmosphere going around the CN Tower. This is the base. Okay, that's going all the way down to the ground. Look at the ground. These are the buildings. Okay, this is ground level. You can see the trees and everything. Okay, that's the base of the tower. Okay, that's about as high as maybe a 10-story building. It's hidden by a 10-story building in the front. And look at the orbs. Okay, they're going around counterclockwise around the tower, and they go up and up and up and up and up, okay, until they get up to, this is the restaurant part. Okay, I'll back off. Okay, that's the restaurant part. Looks like a spaceship, for good reason. Okay, you can see the orbs even from here, from this distance, I mean. See them all going right across? You can tell they're going from right to left, counterclockwise, like I say. Okay, so that red spot is a light, but they made a cluster right in front of it. and are blocking it. There's the light. Okay, so when they crowd like that in front of it, they block it because there's too many of them. And that's what happens everywhere. Sometimes you can see things better than at other times. What they're doing is blocking the light. And that's why we have clouds. Okay, they block out the sunlight because they make up a lot of the clouds in the atmosphere. Okay, so you see how they block that light? That's a spotlight. Should be bright white. You see how many there are? They blocked it. Okay, so then they go around that. Because it's wider, they get a more of a freedom to speed up. Okay, and then they continue. And they go up and up. You see, inside, that's the real top. And all around it are orbs. But that dark part is where the tower is. But the whole thing is just, swarmed by orbs. And what they're doing is, by the time they get it way to the top here, this is the top deck. Okay, you see them going around the top deck? They're a lot faster than they were going around the bottom deck. Okay, so the speed has increased up here, by a lot. And you see how it goes faster here? And even faster up here. See them all? Now they're really moving. See how they sneak around the skinny part there, the needle? You can see it looks like a slinky. Okay, no doubt about it. If the slinky could turn real fast, that toy, to be just like that. Okay, see all the rings? And that's what happens in space. Okay, so they're going around and around. Okay, and then when they get way up here to the very top, it's very narrow there. So the speed increases even more. And then by the time they get up to the top right there, that's where they take off. I have to darken it to show that. Maybe I put it too dark. Okay. That's where they take off. Right off the top. That's a light flashing, but you can see that the oars are taking off. Yeah, I got it too late. Okay, you can see how fast they're spinning around the top needle there. Okay, you see that big one fly by? It went from right to left, counterclockwise. You can see how they're taking off right off the top. A whole bunch just shooting out, just like they do on the moon hologram and off of every star. Okay, so we built this whole obelisk for them, just for that reason. Look at the size of this thing. See, they blocked the light again. Look at the size of this thing. It's just right there. It's like a kilometer high. Look. Okay, that's a modern day needle, an obelisk. If this was old ancient Egypt, this would be the highest obelisk they had. Okay? But in those days, they couldn't build one this high because they didn't know about concrete. They were making it out of stone. You know, huge stone blocks just in one piece. But, you know, we've discovered concrete and reinforced concrete, so now we can make them bigger. And what's happening in every large city all across the world today, they're competing who's going to build the tallest structure. Okay? And the reason is to give these things that we still worship today, no matter what they say. The religions are all back to their roots. They're all worshiping the sun and the moon and the stars and everything. It's never changed. It's still all the same, just different names, different stories, different titles, different a different sale pitch. That's what it is. But everything else is the same. Nothing has changed in actuality. So the big, large cities that can do it, you know, financially, they're competing who's going to have the biggest tower, obelisk, I should say, for these things. Because the people in power, they understand who controls this planet and everything on it. And, you know, they got to pay homage. So that the one way of paying homage is by building structures like this so that they can come down and go back up. And that's the reason for them. And, you know, when I tell you they're here, all over, I'm not kidding. They were here before us. They're going to be here long after us. They were here even before there was an Earth. They were out in space. So there's nothing new about this. We're not, you know, making this up or anything. Okay? This is just the way things are. And there's nothing you can do about it. So get used to it. Because they're in an energy dimension of their own. And that one permeates everything. All the other dimensions. Because it's the energy that makes up everything. You know, even matter. And matter is just stored energy. So your perception and everything depends on these things because they can control your mind, and they do. By changing the electromagnetic field around you. Look how many of them there are in the air. They can change your mind to think anything in a matter of, you know, a millisecond. Because by changing the electromagnetic field around your brain, it changes your brainwave patterns, and you understand the whole world differently altogether. You know, and it just takes a small change. So they're absolutely in control of everything. They create matter, they control matter, living and non-living matter, all matter. And they're all over the place, and you can't stop them because they're energy, and energy makes up everything. Okay? It makes up even matter. Matter is just stored energy. That's all. And it doesn't matter if it's living matter or non-living matter. All matter is stored energy in one form or another. So these things are energy beings, and they know that. So the people they put in power down here to control the rest of us and to run this planet, they build things like this to pay homage. You know, it's like a tribute to Caesar, except this is a tribute to Cleopatra, because it's the queen that gets the benefit. These are insects, and the queen is the most important. Okay, it's not the king. the king doesn't survive the love chamber very often. It's usually lunch. So it's for the queen that these things do everything. And look at them. Okay, no doubt about it, but they are, okay, they're insects, they're orbs, but they're energy beings, very intelligent and controlling everything, not just in our dimension and on our planet, but everywhere, throughout the entire universe and afterwards, you know, the rest of the universes, because energy permeates all the dimensions, all the matter, and everything else there is. Without energy, nothing exists and nothing moves, and nothing is perceived. And that's the story for today. Thank you for viewing. I'm going to take a shot of the sunrise. I'm going to turn it off. The sun just popped up. Okay, thank you.